You know, you have experience, you know when you need to go in or not to go in,
Okay.
right? So when I say no, we don't use the service factor, we set the compressor up standard. And then there are jobs that you know that you're just, if I had a little bit more horsepower, we could run, we don't need that other machine doesn't need to come on.
225 horsepower. Sorry,
Thank you. What was it?
225.
Thank you. Because Edgar knew.
Right.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Me no.
No.
Same here, same here. Same.
So,
No, now I know.
so, the motor service factor is 1.15. You do input it in. Okay, if that was your question, yeah. You make sure that you put all the correct data off of the motor into that starter. We control our own flow by amps. And so that's set at, max amps is set at our full load amps. So, you know, on QST right here, you have a local source or a remote source. You can either be keypad terminal or serial. That's critical. And what I mean by that is if somebody went and they put it at keypad, they could hit the start button and they could actually start this air compressor with the oil pump off. And what would happen? Not good. So, making sure these parameters are correct, like that one right there, is serious. Sometimes the electrician on the job site, he's in a hurry, or you're there, and you have the motor uncoupled, and he just wants to verify rotation. I go to the keypad and I set it up, you know, because the control wiring isn't done, the wiring isn't done, but I can start the motor by putting it in keypad, and I start it from I bump the motor over via rotation via the starter, because it's uncoupled. And then once I do that, I make sure I change it back to terminal. Okay. Initial motor current. These are the settings, initial motor currents that they put in. 150% is standard. Okay, see these, I just did this company right here. Is Nissan, got Nissan in Mexico? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Nissan I just did in Tennessee.
Nissan has 3 different plants in Mexico.
Oh yeah, and you guys, you're gonna get one for sure. One of these days, soon, huh?
They have like 20
Centr.
centrifugal compressors.
Yeah. This one had 8 big, all Syntac.
Yeah.
Old Syntac.
Ellos tienen Cameron y tienen.
Yeah. And now we have IHI. Beautiful green, solid machine in there. Not gonna doing a good job, doing a real good job. The machine is the air compressor. So I have it in remote, so I have it on my side, you can see my scribble. You know, I handwrite this in, and then I transfer it over to an Excel sheet, you know. So when I'm on the job site, I always use a pencil in case I have to erase. And a remote source terminal keypad, remote 150, maximum current input right there, full load amps. I'm pretty standard for a centrifugal, 600%.
Well, I have a question about the remote local. How do you set remote? The parameter should be remote parameter. Here you have to set.
Inside, when I go over there, I'll show you how to change.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll show you how to change. We'll go through it one by one.
Okay.
I'm making it look complicated. It's easy. Other than it's time consuming, it's like doing the, you know, it's like doing the display on ours, on our K list, on our K numbers, on our, you know, the 252. Okay, so you have, so these numbers right here, you can see, you're telling the starter what it is. You have jump to parameter start mode, it's gonna be current ramp, ramp time 10 seconds, initial motor current 150, now we're getting to the CFN. And then, if you wanna know what it is, this book ships with the bench off. They only ship one. It's available online. You can download it and print it. You probably have it, you know, Formosa has it. I think we made copies, we did downloads at Formosa on that right there. And you can go through all the parameters right here. And it tells you all the alarms. You get alarm on this right here, the alarm is in the book. And you can look it up, or you can look up, Jose, you have it on your phone? Bench off?
¿Tú tienes el datos del bench en tu teléfono?
Okay. Jose, you?
I have this manual on PDF.
See, you call Jose, and you give him the alarm, and he can look it up and tell you.
I also can send this manual by PDF.
Yeah, and this is pretty much a standard manual for all the 460. The 4160 is a different manual, but same, you know, just a little bit of changes in it. I don't need to spend a lot of time on this. We'll go out to the starter, and we'll go through it. He's snoring. Again, a lot of these are, a lot of them you'll see are initial set. You pretty much only have to change a handful of numbers for the starter. Okay, and then the rest is pretty common, pretty much set, 600. 15 seconds, we moved to 10, 20, see that's 15, current ramp time down to 10. Initial motor current, we moved to 150, we kept the 600 the same, 15 seconds the same, 100 the same, 600 the same, 25, 105, linear, off, 1. A lot of it's the same across the board. Can you tell them that? As you can see, we get into acceleration, ramp profile, kick level, the stop modes. They're all pretty much don't need to be changed. Only the beginning at the first, the amperage right there.
So no settings for specific running, right?
Right.
And you have to figure out which one you have to use.
Yeah,
Depends of the voltage, depend on.
right. You turn on the volt, you have to tell the machine it's a 460. You have to tell this machine the voltage. You have to program.
But other than that is.
Yeah, it's pretty much,
Okay.
all the numbers are pretty close to what they're gonna be, see? Now, when we get to here, when we get to this one right here, D1A configuration input, right here, everything's off, see? Stop, local, remote. digital input 2 configuration, digital input, off, initial configured, disconnect. Off, we put fault low. Configuration, digital input, right there, off, all the way down here to input 08. On the config, right there, we have run enabled. Okay, here's another one that you need to change. This is changing the R1s and the R4 configuration, and that is the running feedback and the motor feedback right here. So as you can see on R3 configuration relay 3, I have it running. Off, running, off, right here.
Bueno, básicamente todo lo que se tiene ahí en esta tabla es como quedaría, ¿no? Lo que vamos a tener que a lo mejor mover son datos, vamos a tener que decirle al arrancador qué tamaño de motor tiene, factor de servicio, etcétera, lo que vimos casi al inicio. ¿Vale? Entonces, tiene mucha información, pero la gran mayoría es prácticamente la misma.
Los parámetros.
Sí, los parámetros.
¿Al bench show? Normalmente nosotros llamábamos al distribuidor del bench show
Para configurarlo.
para que lo configure y también cubre la garantía.
Let's go out to the.
¿Hay representante de Bencha en México?
Let's go out to the starter. Okay, a lot of this on the board, it doesn't do any good unless we put our fingers on it and talk about it out there and going through what you'll be seeing in the field. You know, some of it is the common sense. Again, they send out the manual. They send out your drawings, all those drawings that I made you guys.
Toda esa información que tienen ahí viene ahí en el arrancador, viene todo ese paquete.
I copied off of this. This was what shipped with the Vinshaw starter, or any starter. We do a lot of Vinshaws, but I do a lot of Eaton and Siemens and different starters. So again, it's a lot at first, but the reality of it is the more you see it, like do you go to Lala or Famosa, Jose, and look at the starter? Have you looked and scrolled through the program?
¿Has ido al compresor de Famosa y has visto los parámetros? ¿Has movido algún parámetro ahí? Bueno, no movido, sino como ir a verlos.
Los he visto, pero no veo necesidad de modificar.
Yeah,
Right.
Scroll down,
But now you will. Let's go.
Ahora tú vas a poderlo hacer.
Now you will, because now you know. I prefer myself, once I get them started, I probably leave the starters alone, but every once in a while, I go check the parameters and check everything out. So we'll energize this up, and I will go through the screen with you on that.
Ahora, go to the
Starter.
Vamos al arrancador. Ahí nos va a mostrar un poco más detalles.
Vamos a moverle. ¿Cómo dice Byron?
I'll show you.
hablar por WhatsApp y nomás alcanza como 2 minutos, fue más de 2 minutos, va.
Sabes que está pesado. Oye, si compartes el link de YouTube, si lo
Sí, voy a
compartes, así
lo
como se los mandé yo,
voy a compartir así para que si lo quieren ver más completo.
completo, sí.
Okay, the 460 is off. I have the power off, but there is power inside this cabinet. Okay. The breaker's here, 460, all right here. But on your print, find the starting circuit on your print. There's 2 pages. Jose has the one right here. So you can see, I did bring the pointer. You can see that we have, what's the top number up there in terminal block 3?
Yeah, block 3. I erase. Let me take a picture.
No.
Please.
It's a good tool, huh, the picture? I have a little humor, you know, a little nervous humor. As my wife would say, I always say no.
José, no hay un puente ahí, ¿verdad?
No hay puente.
In here. Now you notice here, he just put 24 volt and didn't tell you the wire. But if you look next to the electrical diagram right here, I'll show you. Let's see here. You have the small.
This one? I have 3.
Let me see your book. Right here, you'll notice right here where it has the running feedback and the motor trouble on those right here, and he has them marked. He has them marked 6301 and 6302, and then you see that he just marked 24 volt and 24 volt, but you know that it's wire number 39 and it's wire number 42.
Oh.
Okay, so if you look over here on the, let me see your starter paper. Oh, right here, if you look right here, you'll notice that these are marked 6214, 6215, and these are different markings right here. But these are for your DCS, and they do the same job: the running feedback, your stop feedback, your alarm, and your trip. But in here, it will be 6301, 6302, or terminal block 5, the same, but for a DCS is on this side over here. Okay, so this is what you need for inside the starter right here is the running feedback in your stop there, and then up here we have the start circuit. Do you have those written down? What goes on terminal block 1, number 3?
Number 3 is 6209.
Okay, so look on your print, your right here for 6209.
6209.
right there. So you could draw. So that's where your first wire lands on number 3. What's on 62? What's on number 4?
6201.
So the other end of the job, the start, 6201. So number 3 is this one, the 6209, the stop signal, and the 6201 is the start. All on that. So now we have terminal 4 and 5. What's on terminal 4?
Terminal 4 terminal 4 is 6201.
So
terminal 5.
Terminal 5 is 6201. So if you look right here, terminal 1 there, 5, that would be
6208.
6208. So that would be right here. 6208 goes there and lands right there. So now we're in. You see how the integration of the starter to the compressor. Can you see that on here? On the. This one right here would be. Yeah, those down there. Those right there. So 24 would be N01. You got it. N01? N01 would be 24. This would be the 6301. 6301. You want to write that in pencil? 6301 is the do you have your paperwork right here? Go to this one right here. Smell that page. This one right here. So right here would put 24 volt. On right there on there.
Right.
You just put 2-4. And this one, yeah, right, 24 volt.
24?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and this one right here is, what's that number? That number is 6301. Okay? 6301 on that one. RC1.
RC1?
Yep.
Yeah. What is this?
6301.
Cero.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Es que le dice
Okay.
Owen, sí.
Hey, look.
Oh, oh, sí, sí, no.
Okay. This one,
No me
you
acordaba.
skip here. This one is 24 volt.
24.
24 volt right there. And this one right here, RC2, is 6302.
6302.
Okay. So,
No sé por qué, pero sí.
Ah, sí, sí, sabía, sí me lo han enseñado. Sí.
¿Qué?
Es que no me acordaba. ¿Es zero o
Aún como O,
Oh.
como O, pero yo sé.
so that would be your running feedback 6301 and 6302. These are the 4 wires that you need to go over. Okay? You know. Okay, guys. So now you see the integration. Everybody, you see the integration of the starter wires, the compressor to the starter. So, not too much, 8 wires. Just too much talking, you know.
Yeah. that is good.
Yeah. You get this one right here.
No, no yet. No yet.
Dos. Tres.
Hacer tu examen.
1, 2, 3.
Lo que pasa es que yo traigo la carrera.
Okay, let me get in here. I tell story. I like stories. So, these 3 CTs right here are for the starter. This CT right here is for the compressor. So the compressor controls off of this. This can either be in here or the motor, depending on where you put it. You know what I mean? This is the CT right here. So this happened. I started the air compressor, and they had this CT wire right here run. This wire right here. Now this wire looks like it's the same size as that wire, doesn't it? Look pretty close, right?
Yep.
And ran. It's the same, huh? Let me tell you. This is 22 gauge, and this is 18 gauge. So there's a calculation math that you have to do for the distance of the minimum wire size for the CT back to the air compressor. This was too small, and I high amp the air compressor, and we had to put in a new wire, 18 gauge. Just the difference between 22 gauge and 18 gauge, shielded. See that shielded? I had to troubleshoot that and figure that out. Well, I thought, oh man, we got bad CT, or you know, maybe the transmitter inside the cabinet was bad. To the wire size was too small.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Remember hot. $5 a picture. And now you see it's important when they do the wiring. I think it, for most of they did. We were trying to figure out what the wiring was. And had to bring them out.
Sí, en la puerta.
Tengo sueño.
Sí, va.
Es que la comida,
Me
¿verdad?
faltó dormir.
¿A qué hora se duerme la Choco?
Yo a las 11:30 me dormí más o menos. Es que sabe, como que no. Es que la cama, sabe que la pinche cama. Porque, oye, me duelen los brazos y la
Taylor said
espalda.
tomorrow he's
¿A poco?
ready on tour of the factory.
Y la mía está bien fea la cama, es que te acostumbras, ¿verdad? Y esa
Sí.
está bien buena, pero.
No se acostumbra uno. No, y luego la comida también como que...
Bueno, nos trajimos poquito, como que ya se dan cuenta que no somos de comer un día más.
We're gonna have
Sí.
to go ask him right now because he needs it.
Ah, está padre.
Un gato, ¿no? Un gato que no pozo.
Bob said maybe tour tomorrow. The guys want to go to a tour.
Ah, está con madre. Como un gato.
Let me shut the door. We go to the next thing. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna energize this. Hang on.
¿Cómo?
So,
A ver, otra vez.
there's no voltage, no voltage stop, menu. You got all your different menus. Jump code 1. So, fault, motor overload, back to the first one. So you can enter this one right here, QST1. You can go QST1, 225. This is where I enter
¿Esa es de placa del motor?
right here. I can go,
Es nameplate, ¿eh?
yeah. Nameplate. I entered the 225. You just go over here. You can go up. You go down, right? So you hit enter. So I entered the nameplate right there, right? Then you go to 2. The service factor is 1.15.
Plain mode.
Right there. Running overload 2. Terminal, local service to terminal. Remote service is the terminal. There's a terminal over there. I think if you hit enter, it could be serial.
¿Qué es?
Keypad.
¿Qué es?
Keypad.
¿A qué se
So
refiere?
we have it set right there, terminal. That's where I told you it could be dangerous, you know, where you could hit the start and start that right there. So you have your initial current was, remember I told you the initial current was what, 150 that was on the board? So I moved this up to 200% because I couldn't figure out what happened. We had, the motor wasn't starting fast enough. So it turned out what happened was the last person running the air compressor had the valves in manual, and so it was starting with the IGB fully open, and it pulled up and it just like really slow under a load, and actually tripped it the second time I started it. So I moved that up. Max curtain 600 was good, and I moved the ramp time from 7 seconds to 5 seconds, trying to speed up the. Trying to speed the motor up and start the compressor faster.
Pregúntale, ¿en este tipo de arrancador es necesario la rampa? In this kind of starter, you need a ramp too?
Yeah. On this starter too, it has that as well, so you can control it for both these ways. UTS time 20 seconds. So we're done with QST. That was easy, simple, huh? How many did you put in? Let's see. Not too much. 600, 200. I changed that. I did that. I changed this. Put 1.15 in, right? And I put the amps in. Okay. Then you hit menu. I go to CFN. Current start mode. Current ramp. Ramp time 5 seconds. That's because I entered it in that last section right there. Initial current one was 200%. Max current one was 600. Yeah, kind of repeating itself. But you're getting a lot more. There's nothing here that I needed to change. Okay, because you'll see that that's pretty standard all the way up. I haven't needed to touch anything. 0 back. I hit menu again. I'm at PFN. Current level off. 1 under control level off. I left a lot of the imbalance at 15%. Residual ground fault level I leave off. Some people like them on, but then you're asking for trips, nuisance things, Over voltage level off. Because in Mexico, voltage is going to be all over the place, like here. So I just, when anything's gonna shut the air compressor and trip it, I kinda, on this one, I just left it off. Some customers want the protection and they want all that built in. Trip, auto reset off. You don't want this thing to come back on automatically. Auto reset limit off. Control fault, independent overload. And in the book, it tells you all this. Running overload 20. HCD.
All these parameters are in the book.
Yeah. Jump code 1. Now we go to this next one. IO. Stop. D1 stop. Off. Right here. Running. R1 configuration. You want to change that to running. Okay. R2 configuration. You want it to change. You want to make sure that says fault NFS. R3 configuration off. But you're trying to tell me, I can't remember none of this. I don't know what to do, right? Meter 1 average volts, my,
CT ratio?
yeah, this is the CT ratio.
For the one.
Yeah, no, this is the CT ratio for these right here.
For the.
Oops, 460, go
Yeah,
straight
okay.
down the one right here will be programmed in the.
For the compressor.
For the compressor, so you program that CT ratio in the compressor.
Yeah.
If I had a knife, I'd throw it to you.
Yeah, where is?
Phase order, everybody wanted to know the correct phase, if there was a phase change or anything. So if the phase got changed anywhere outside out there, it won't start because this is the phase that order
ABC.
for this machine. Maybe yours will be the other way.
Pero entonces eso es como un sensor de fases también. Bueno, de reversa de fases. Si alguien
Monitor de fases.
las cambia en la subestación o algo, esto va a dar. Y son varios changes
Like phase monitor?
de
Both
phase
phase in the street
substation or
or
something like that.
substation.
You are going to have an alarm here.
Yeah, it's gonna, no, not even start. Yeah, alarm fault, it won't trip.
Phase monitor.
Yeah,
Phase monitor.
so here's where you put in your rated voltage, 40, 4160. You can hit enter, you can go 500, 525, 575, 600, all the way up. 480.
In Mexico we have for
460.
no, aquí tenemos 440.
440? Yeah.
Do you have 440? Ah, yeah.
Allá ustedes, porque en la frontera
No?
440 se protegen los compresores. No, en Mexicali sí andamos sobre el 480 todo el tiempo. No, 470 y que hubo.
Entonces no vas a tener problema.
Yeah, but
What about power factor?
where the power factor, that does itself.
So
That-
it should down, the power factor is down to 0.92?
Yeah. No,
No.
that's just
This is
power factor.
not the power factor, it's in the nameplate, no?
Yeah,
Okay. Main motor.
yeah.
Main
motor.
power.
Starter type normal. Heater level off. Energy saver off. Comm drop. Communication, comm timeout. Software. Miscellaneous command none. Passcode off. You can enter a password here if you wanted to, so no one comes in and changes. Jump code right. You hit menu. Then you're back to the same one. Now what I do is I could go to, let me see, let's go to Famosa.
Que no tengo password es
No, let's go to Lala.
porque está aquí, ¿no? Pero gente yo diría que debería estar.
I can go to Mexico real quick here.
Quizá. Porque si va al cliente le llega Eduardo López y le empieza a picar y le cambia uno por error.
Sí, sí, ha arrancado con esto.
Sí, los dos que el de Famosa y de Lara tienen este. Y los de Honda tienen otro muy diferente. Que ni conocemos por los parámetros. Y eso no lo puedes mover, si tiene este.
Es que ese es un
password.
diseño. ¿Ah? Sí.
Convention, o sea. Me venían, lo programaban y ya.
So,
Ya no sé cómo será.
Después de que dijiste ese comentario hace rato, lo acabo de encontrar.
¿El servidor?
Sí, lo busqué. Está uno. Hay uno.
Y en Guadalajara.
so what I do is, this is Famosa.
Esa es la configuración de famosa. Entonces,
Lots of pictures on. That's what I would do right here. I would take your pictures. You can compare to Famosa, you can compare to Lala, you can compare to, and that way you can check to make sure that you're setting your settings correct.
but before commissioning, what did you do
You mean
this?
in this?
I showed you, I set the settings, the amperage, the voltage,
That-
and going through
Pretty
600.
much voltage.
And then,
amperage,
and then I've done it
first
so many
factor.
times that I will go back to one of my jobs check these settings right here. And then you get to know the settings, you know, as you know the book.
Obviously, depends if the starter is the same model line.
Well, yeah,
the job.
yeah, 4160 or 460.
Or if white delta or
Yeah.
solid state.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's all different wiring, job. But what I would do is take
How expensive are those pictures?
Very expensive. Very expensive. Why, you want those pictures? That's la la. That's la la. That's Famosa. You can take pictures here. $2 a picture. Just go. Hit menu. 1, 2, 3. And take your pictures, right? Each screen. And then when you go to your next job, and it's a 460, you can check the setup on this one.
Usually, bencha set up previously.
No. No, because they
Nothing in there.
They don't know what.
majority of it, 75, 80% of it is you won't touch.
Okay.
But there's two handfuls worth of you're gonna put your amps in, you're gonna put your voltage in, you're gonna put your
Motor size.
your motor size on that right there. You're gonna put your power factor in. You know, all those little things right there. You're gonna change what I told you right here. You'll change a few of those settings right there. That's what I'm saying. Take pictures, because you'll see what settings that need to be changed. And those settings that we're changing affect these right here. So in the digital, in the input and output, and the R configuration, those are what gives you your normally closed or shut, or you're running feedback. So in that you need to take a picture, because those are critical ones that you'll have to set, or you'll never get it started. You can mess up on the amperage, you can mess up on the transducers. The thing will start, just won't read correctly. But if you don't have those inputted correctly in here, it won't start. Fault. So, if you want to take a picture, go ahead.
¿Van a tomar fotos?
I take a video.
Todo el video. No, ¿cuánto vas a pagar?
Es de famosa. Okay.
He's got Famosa, huh?
$2 por.
Yeah, I want $2 fair.
Two? 1,000 video.
Te vas a quedar a barrer el almacén.
Tú ya debes como 4.
Por eso lo que hago es tomo fotografías. Si tengo una arrancada que me parece en otro lado, tuyo no.
And a lot of it's common sense. You know what I mean? You can go to menu, and then once you're in the menu, you enter, you go backwards or forward.
That, I go to.
Yep.